Hey, good evening, everybody. I'm so glad that you all could tune in this evening. This is the Lady Sounds of Wonderlow. I'm glad you are going to enjoy our episode tonight. Man, I'm ready for it. I don't know about y'all, but I've been waiting on this all day long. So I hope that you will grab you something to drink, grab you a little snack because this is going to make you hungry. So you might as well go ahead and get your snack now and go ahead and tune in. We just do a little bit of housekeeping on the front side of this. You can watch us live tonight on Facebook. You can also catch it on YouTube. So if you're tuned in right now and you can't see it on your screen, I'm going to do a start a watch party on my page, which is Wonder Ben Low. And then I'll also see if I can start one on my Facebook page, The Lady Sounds with Wonder Low. So that way, if you're watching, you can join in and you can watch and see what my guest tonight is cooking up in the kitchen. And let me just give you a little preference to tonight's show. I love to cook and I love to eat. And I have been watching people for the last couple of months, especially since we've been in the pandemic. People are cooking, they're posting all these wonderful dishes to Facebook. And man, I was like, I want to talk to some of these folks and see what all they have going on in the kitchen. So I did a little invite I sent to a couple of different chefs and said, hey, how about coming on the show and just cooking up a meal and telling us about why you like to cook and talking a little bit about what you do? And Chef Yvonne Leeper, or better known as Chef Mo, responded to that call. So I'm so excited that she's on tonight. And as you can see, she's already over there cooking up something. And I'm in a whole other
Hey,
state. She is in Atlanta, and I'm in Arkansas. Man, I'm mad because I'm not there and I can't taste what she's cooking. And
it's gonna be good too.
I know. So let me introduce her real quick, and then I'll go over and start a watch party so you all can join in. So tonight, my guest is none other than Chef Yvonne Leeper, and she's better known as Chef.
Hey,
Chef Mo is from Nashville, Arkansas, but resides in Atlanta, Georgia. She is a 2016 McCoy Blue College of Culinary Arts graduate in Atlanta. Go Getter Chef Mo is also the owner and chef of Uniquely Scrumptious Catering and is employed at Kennesaw, I hope I'm saying that right, State University
mhm.
Dining. So I am so excited to welcome Chef to, almost said to the stage tonight. Well, you are on the stage tonight. Your stage is so,
Right.
well, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Chef Mo and give you all a better view of what she's cooking up. Again, I'm angry because I can't be there to be the taste tester tonight. But Chef Mo, take it away.
Hey everyone, thanks for watching. Thanks for joining in. I'm excited to be on this show. This is actually my first time being on a show like this, so I'm actually very, very excited. But just to give you an insight on what I'm cooking tonight, I have, if y'all can see this, hold on, let me see. Okay, I have some salmon right here, and it's got a dill champagne mustard sauce on it. And I have some green peppers in there with that as well. I have some sauteed spinach that I sauteed off just a second ago. And I have a sweet and spicy rice. This is from that came from one of my friends out of California. And I love that rice. But tonight I started off searing this salmon with the mustard sauce on it, and we're going to finish it off in the oven. So when you're doing a salmon, I actually used, I make my own seasonings and rubs. So I actually use one of my seasonings, which is a cannabis seasoning, if you know what I mean. And I ended up rubbing it with a champagne mustard dill sauce, and I sauteed just the side that the skin be on. I just sauteed that side, and I'm gonna finish it off in the oven, which I already started that part. That way it wouldn't be so long. So I'm gonna put that in the oven, and I'm going to continue to saute my cabbages, which will be done in just a second. My favorite part of all of this is the plating up part, because I just go real crazy with the plating. I try my best to not overdo it, but sometimes as a chef, you do overdo it sometimes. But just to give you a show of what I put in the rice, I used just a little bit of turmeric, and I used a chili paste sauce, which will kind of make it spicy. I actually cut up a couple of jalapeno peppers and put it in there as well. So it's going to be sweet and spicy. I have the brown sugar that I also put in my water for the rice. Once it started boiling, I put that in there as well to give it just that sweetness to it. With my cabbages, I just cut up like the green leaves on the cabbage, the outside of the cabbage. I cut that up into like little shreds, and just to give it a little color, I put some red chili flakes on it. But I also cooked it in the pan with a avocado cooking spray and just a little bit of butter, just to, had a pan just a little bit wet. But other than that, it doesn't take much. It only takes maybe about 5 or 10 minutes. If you want them crispy, you could cook them longer than that, but I really don't want them crispy. It's really mostly a decoration for the plate. So once your salmon gets to cook to 145, then we'll be able to take it out and start our plating, which I'm going to get all that stuff together because it's not going to take us long for the salmon, even though it was like a big piece, but it's still not going to take that long. Once you get that sear on the bottom part, it's not going to take that long for it to cook in the inside. You want it to temp at 145 in the inside, unless you like it pink in the inside. So it's either or, but I like mine at 145. Bear with me because this is my first time doing this, so I'm kind of nervous. As much as I talk, I'm kind of nervous still.
You are fine, honey. You're doing great. You're doing a great job.
So, yes, this rice, it came out beautiful. Let me get a spoon so I can let y'all see it. But it came out really beautiful. Now, most of the time when I serve this rice, I serve it with a liquid. But today I wanted to try something different and do it without the liquid. But it turned out really, really pretty. The color on it is like that perfect yellow kind of orange that you want. You don't want to overdo it because the turmeric will make a paste in that water if you put too much turmeric in there. Trust me, I done did it so many times. I'm like, why it turn out like this? So just know practice makes perfect at all times, no matter what you're doing. Practice. If you keep practicing, you'll get it how you want it to be. But my cabbages, they came out just like sort of like a little brown and crispy. I'm gonna hold it up to the camera, but that's how I wanted them. And all I did was just season them with a little salt and pepper. If you want them sweet, you can always take you some brown sugar and mix it in with it just to get that little sweetness to it. But I like for mine to, have that salt and pepper flavor to it.
Okay. Hey, Chef, we got a quick question. Risa says, how do you keep the salmon moist?
The salmon, you keep it moist. As long as you don't overcook that salmon, it's going to stay moist. If you can get it to, as long as that temp is between 145, that salmon is going to be moist in the inside. The thing is, some people overcook the salmon because they think that it should be at least 150, and it's not. You're overcooking it and you drying it out. Okay. If you can tell when you done overcooked it because it started flaking, and you don't want it to do that unless you're making tacos or, a salmon pizza or something like that. But I also keep lemon juice on hand. Mm-hmm. Lemon juice keeps it moist as well. It gives it that acid to it, and it keeps it moist. So I always keep me some lemon juice, even before or after. It doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm. Okay, great question.
And look, y'all, I'm about to start selling this cannabis rub now. I'm telling you. It is going out here in Atlanta. So I'm about to put it on the market. As soon as I get everything in check, it's about to be on the market. I also make sauces and all that stuff too. So, I'm trying to do more than just cater. I'm trying to step my game up and be in the store somewhere. You know what I'm saying? That's what I want to do. And I don't want to just do it in Atlanta. I want to have my stuff in Arkansas as well because that's where I'm from, and being in Arkansas, you have family and friends. They always want you to cook stuff. So I was always the person that was the go-to cook person. And since I've been a chef, I'm really the go-to person. Like they just volunteer me. Oh, she's coming home this weekend. Oh, she cooking. You know what I'm
I
saying?
just
So
need to know when you're coming home again, so I can come to. You still
I
living
will
there?
actually be I will be home in Arkansas on the 25th of September.
Let me put
I
that
will
on.
be home. My birthday is that weekend, and I want to come home and spend my birthday with my family.
Cool.
I don't want to do all the part. I mean, I'm a party with my family, but I don't want to party without them. I'm gonna cook stuff. So I always keep a thermometer, even though I'm a chef and I can touch and feel when it's done. I still always keep a thermometer. This is my go-to, like all the time. So I'm gonna check the temp on the salmon and see where we at. Oh, okay. We done, y'all. So this is my favorite part, the plating part. Everybody say I overdo it, but I love it. My dad, when I cook for him, he say, you don't have to be all fancy when you plate my stuff. Just put it on the plate. But I can't help it. I have to do it. Okay. So when I do rice and stuff like that, I usually don't like to just put it on the plate. I put it in something like this, and then I turn it over and put it on the plate. That way it'll have a shape to it. Even if I wanted to lay my salmon up against it or whatever the case may be, I just put it on the plate. So that's that. You know, as chefs, we try not to make everything touch on the plate, but sometimes you can't help it, you know, and it touches. But it's okay because I'm going to kind of lay my salmon on top of my on the top of my cabbages. And I got a couple of green peppers that I'll lay on the side of my salmon. They'll say, oh, she just got all these colors on her plate.
I think all the colors on the plate make it look way better.
It does. It really does. The only thing that drives me crazy is that everybody thinks that they have to use parsley all the time for color. It's always other stuff that you can use for color besides parsley, you know. And I'm just one of those people. I just don't believe in the parsley all the time. Now I do at work because that's what we have to do. But at home, I do. I'm always doing something different.
Kind of talk about why you got into cooking or what led you to become a chef.
Okay. Well, I've always wanted to. Well, growing up as a kid, I wanted to always become a nurse. And I end up going to nursing school, and I end up doing like phlebotomy work and all that different type of stuff. Well, I had cooked Thanksgiving. I cooked every day, but I end up cooking Thanksgiving for my best friend that, well, we kind of call each other sisters, but she didn't eat meat. So I made her a vegetarian dressing. And she was like, oh my God, it's so good. We were sitting in the house one day and she was like, you know what, sissy, you should go to culinary school. And I was like, nah, I ain't that good. You know, I just do it, you know, for y'all around the house or whatever. Well, that next morning I got up and it was on my heart to do it. And I was like, I'm calling Le Cordon Bleu right now. I called them, got accepted that day.
Wow.
And that was in January. By March of 2015, I was moving. No, 2014, I was moving, packed up everything that I owned, sold half of my stuff, and moved to Atlanta.
Wow.
And when I moved here, I had $20 to my name. But I went and did my orientation at the school, and they was like, "We know you had so much to do to move here and all that. We're gonna help you find a job." Well, they end up helping me find a job, and I end up as a bartender at this like small restaurant or whatever called Fletcher's.
Mm-hmm.
And my friend that I grew up with from Arkansas had just opened up a restaurant here in Atlanta. And he was like, "I want you to come work for me and be a part of my team." So I ended up working for him. I did the bar thing too, but I really didn't like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I did that with him. I went and worked with him at his restaurant and I loved it. And I was just like, this is what I want to do. This is what I'm doing. While I went to culinary school, I ended up working there. I started as a line cook there and ended up being the sous chef.
Okay.
So the sous chef is the next closest thing to the head chef.
Okay.
So it was like I was the head chef's right-hand man for 5 years. And so that just pushed me and pushed me and pushed me. And then I started having people ask me to cook for them, like in big groups and weddings and stuff. So that's what made me say, okay, I'm just going to open up me a catering company. And so when I ended up moving back to Arkansas, and I was like, it's not really too much to do in Arkansas. And I don't really think that chefs are a big thing in Arkansas like it is in other cities. And so for me to get myself out there, I just start producing, different stuff, taking pictures of it, putting it on Facebook, Instagram, and people start hitting me up in my inbox. Can you cater my wedding? Can you cater this event for us? Can you do this? Can you do that? So it's just been going on and on. I wanted to do something different, so I moved back to Atlanta. My culinary chef from Le Cordon Bleu offered me a job at Kennesaw State University to work with him. So I moved back and I did that. And now I'm doing that plus my catering, and I'm making my sauces and my seasonings as well. I am booked up right now with my catering. Like I have weddings, I have birthdays and all that stuff between now and January of 2021.
Now that's a good problem to have, though.
I stay busy and I love it though.
That is a very good problem to have, man.
Yes. So I think I can hold it up like this. And let me see.
She actually really
I'm gonna figure it out though. Oh, there it go.
Wait a minute.
Wait a minute, what did I do wrong?
Let's see. Is it in your hands or is it on the counter?
I got it. I was trying to hold the laptop up so they could see it, but I think you can see it better like this. All right.
I'm gonna jump out the stream real quick so I can make it bigger, okay?
So here you go. I have a salmon with a champagne mustard sauce. I have the sweet and spicy rice. And you can see the little cabbages right there. So this is the plate for tonight. And this is also my dinner as well. I wish I could have showed this plate a little bit better, but
that was awesome.
Okay.
I'm still upset I can't taste it.
I'm so sorry. I wish you were here to be able to taste it. I would love that. That's another thing that gives me an adrenaline rush. When I cook something for somebody and how they react and the smile and how they make me feel, that gives me an adrenaline rush, and it makes me not want to stop doing what I'm doing. My family, we went through a tragedy. We are going through a tragedy right now. We lost our nephew, and I'm dedicating everything that I do chef-wise in memory of my nephew. So just know that I'm going hard from this point on because I need my baby to be proud of me.
All right.
I'm so happy that you invited me. I actually had a good time, even though I was nervous as ever.
Well, you got some more time.
Oh, okay. How much more time I got?
You got about 30 more minutes.
I got how long?
You got an hour, remember?
A whole hour. No. Okay.
You cook something else if you want to. Look, I still can't taste it, but you cook
I
some.
know, right? Look, that's the only thing that I hate. I'm like, okay, ain't nobody here to taste it with me.
I tell you what, you eat it and you tell us how good it tastes.
Okay, so I'm gonna take a couple of bites out of this.
All right. And
Okay.
make sure you tell us the name of your catering business now.
The name of my catering business is Uniquely Scrumptious Catering. And I started it out of Arkansas, but now we are in Atlanta and I do travel.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter where you at. I will travel to you. Trust me, I will, because this is not work to me. This is what I love.
Mm-hmm.
And I've I've never felt this passionate about something. Even
Mm-hmm.
though I love taking care of people, but this right here did something to my soul and made me like, I love this. Like, I can't stop doing this.
Yep.
So it's like some people like, oh, it's not that serious. Yes, this is my lifestyle. This is my life. This is what I do every day. So it's like, respect it or not,
Mm-hmm.
but everybody loves what I do. My family they are my biggest support system. I mean, like my dad, he doesn't even call me by my name. He just called me chef.
That's all
And
right.
when he introduced me to people, he be like, this my chef daughter right here. Yeah, he don't discriminate. My mom, she is so proud. Like, I do meal preps and stuff. When I was back home in Arkansas, I did meal preps and stuff every week. I had at least 30, 40 customers, and I would do meal preps every week. I would also do meal preps for my mom and my nieces. So
Mm-hmm.
my mom wouldn't have to cook, and so my sister wouldn't have to cook for the kids. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of got my nieces spoiled on real food.
Like my
Like,
grandson.
they eat sushi, they eat all that stuff, crab legs. They 5 years old and 2 years
Huh.
old. Like, they
So
love
that's
real
really
food.
advanced palate because you've been cooking things
Yes,
for them.
yes. I started them out early.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I love, because that means I can cook anything for them and they will eat it, vegetables and all.
It sounds like my grandson. He knows the difference between real food and fast food.
Right,
So,
right,
in my house, he'll ask me, "Faye, Faye, what you cook?" And I say, "Well, let's just get some." No, I want real food. I know
right.
real food.
Yeah, that's
This,
what they want.
this is the child that walks in the door and goes, "I want some fried chicken, some greens, and cornbread." And
Oh, yeah, he know exactly what he wants.
he knows real food. So yeah.
He knows exactly what he wants. Now,
Mm-hmm.
this is the quick meal because I get off every night at about 7:30. Well, I
Okay.
used to get off at 10, but they changed the time since the corona, and I
Yeah.
get off at 7:30 now. So this is a quick meal. This is something quick that I can come home and cook, take me a shower, and get in the bed and be ready for the next day. It didn't take me no time to make this meal. You know what I'm
No,
saying?
we got
So
finished
that's
really.
what I be trying to tell parents that have kids or whatever and they work. Hey, it's always different ways to make a quick meal for these kids and they'll love it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually trying to I started a cookbook. I'm
Yeah,
actually trying to finish it. I started it in 2016
that's okay.
and I'm trying to finish it and I'm almost there. So once I get that, it will be on Amazon. It will be in stores and all that. It's a cookbook for kids.
Oh wow! So when you get that done, you come back and we're gonna talk about it again.
I sure
I
will.
definitely want you to come back and
I
talk about it.
actually have a meeting with a lady on Friday that's trying to open up a vegan burger restaurant.
Uh-huh.
She wants me to create her menu for her.
Wow.
So Friday, I meet with her Friday, and
Uh-huh.
I already have the menu created. So we'll just go from there with the menu. Pick out what she want and what she don't want. It'll
Mhm.
be vegan things, but it won't be all vegan. It will be some vegan thing, mostly vegan, but then it'll be like turkey burgers and stuff like that too as well.
Mhm.
But she doesn't want soy
Okay.
with
Okay.
the vegan. So I have so many ideas and it's cool because I went to my chef and I was like, can you help me? He was like, for what? And I told him why. He was like, oh, it's a lot of different things that you can do a vegan burger with that doesn't have soy in it. And he told me a couple of things. So I came home and I researched it and I was like, wow, I never knew that you could make a vegan burger with beets.
Beets?
Yes.
Interesting. Okay.
Yes. So that will be one of the burgers on the menu that I put on the menu. So we're going to try that and work that out and see how that goes. I'm really excited to see how that's going to turn out. Because I never thought that I could do that with a beet. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to try that out. But I'm going to take a bite of this salmon.
All right. You're not making it any better.
I swear to God. Look.
You're not making it
salmon. This champagne deal mustard. Baby. I'm talking about so good. This I made this cannabis seasoning and I put a couple of different things in there. But I end up putting some I took the zest off the orange peel and I put it in here in this cannabis rub and I can taste it in my salmon.
Wow.
Like I can literally taste the orange peel.
Really hungry.
In this salmon. Like it is so good.
I tell you what, talk a little bit about how you develop recipes.
Okay. So with the developing of a recipe, it just depends on okay, if I do my palate, everybody's palate is different. But you always try to not cook for yourself. You got to remember that you always cooking for other people. You know what I'm saying? So when you developing a recipe, you got to start from A to Z. And that's with testing everything as far as your seasonings. Everything that you do as far as making a recipe, you write it down. Everything. I don't care how long I've been being a chef or how long I'm cooking. If I don't write it down, I ain't gonna remember half of it. So I start off with me building the recipe. I start off with whatever kind of meat or fish or whatever I'm gonna do. So say for instance, I don't eat chicken, but I cook a lot of chicken for people. So say for instance, if I'm doing a recipe for some chicken, it don't matter what kind, just a chicken breast. I can come off the top of my head with so many different ingredients to go with that chicken breast because I know that's what I'm cooking for the day. My main things are my sauce.
Okay.
Your sauce gonna always match with your seasoning. Whatever seasoning you using in a recipe, whatever sauce you want with it, make sure it matches with your seasoning.
Okay.
That mustard sauce, and this seasoning goes perfect together, and I've never tried it until today.
Okay.
I didn't even know what I was gonna cook until I was on my way home from work. I was like, oh, I know what I'll do. And I just came here and put it together. It's like, you know what your palate want to taste. Don't be afraid to try. Just try it. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if you be like, I've never had a champagne mustard sauce on my salmon. Just try it just to see, because you never know if you will like it or not. I tell people that all the time. Yeah, I create menus. It takes me a minute to get it all together. I have to be in the various quiet place to be able to create these menus. No TV, no none of that. Just me and my pen and paper. And I'm constantly thinking and writing and scratching and thinking and writing. I'll be like, you know what? I'm not finna do this. I'm just finna go in the kitchen and I'm gonna put it all together. And that's how I start writing my recipes. I just get in the kitchen and put it all together.
I have 3 questions for you. Okay, the first one is, Risa, where can we find the dill mustard? Without
not in Arkansas.
Let's say without saying where.
Sorry, but let me see. I could bring some home when I come home, but it's made out of Springfield, Ohio. And it's called Wober's Reserve.
Okay.
So you can probably go onto that website. It's www.woeber mustard.com.
Okay.
If
And
you go onto that website, I'm pretty sure you can order it. But my best friend out here in Atlanta, she always takes me to awesome places. And she always be like, friend, I got to take you to this place so we can get this. And that's how we ended up with these mustard sauces. We went to a place called Tomato House or something like that.
uh-huh.
And it was just full of a whole bunch of hot sauces and mustard sauces and just everything fresh from like out the garden and all that type of stuff, like it's family owned or whatever. And it was really cool. So we just went in there and picked up, different stuff or whatever. And I was like, I gotta try this. And this is the best thing I've had on the salmon.
Oh wow. Okay.
Like it's really delicious. Like it's really, really delicious. Now, if I take my time and try to make some myself, I'm sure it would turn out right. But I'm sure that I have to have a lot of different other stuff to go into it. Oh no, it's really nice. It's actually simple. It's actually simple. So I might try to make my own and see how it turn out. But it's actually good, and it's the best thing I've eaten on a salmon in I don't know how long. Like I make sauces all the time for a salmon, but this sauce was already made and it is delicious. If you like dill, you would love this.
Run something really strange and how I found some nice sauces and different seasonings. You'd be amazed at what stores, and I'm talking locally in Arkansas now, what stores around here, if you just go into their little, I'm trying not to say a name of a store.
Yeah.
Go into their housewares.
Now
look, I'm gonna tell you exactly where it is without saying what store it is. Go to the back of the store, and there's gonna be a section where there's a lot of different gourmet foods. Different kinds of salt. You'll see different kinds of sauces, different kinds of seasonings. Try them.
Okay.
I tell you what, one of the best things I think I ever bought out of one of these stores was I love herbs of Provence, the seasoning.
Oh yes.
Oh my God.
Yes.
It's good on chicken, it's good on fish, and it's good on pork. And I've had a champagne mustard before, but now I want to try that one that you're talking about.
Yes, it is so good. Oh my God, it's really good. I do a lot of shopping at the farmer's market. I do a lot of shopping. I get a lot of my seasonings to make my seasonings from the farmer's market.
Now, see, that's something I will encourage folks to do too here. We have we got the river market, and we have farmers markets all wherever you live in Arkansas. Pretty much, you're gonna find a farmer's market. But go some Saturday morning and just buy vegetables that you've never tasted before.
Right.
Online and just find a recipe and make them, because we don't eat what we don't know.
Exactly. That's right.
Go to one of those stores. Let me give you some more hints. You can buy clothes in the store. I'm not talking about the main store, but it's one of these stores that you can buy clothes in these stores. Okay. Whole stuff in these stores. But if you'll go to their gourmet food section, you can find all these really, really good sauces.
Okay.
Habanero apricot sauce.
Oh yes, honey, that is so good. I use that on my lamb. Yeah. When I cook lamb, I put that on my lamb. Yes, that is really, really good.
But just try. Next time you go shopping to buy you some clothes.
Okay. I know. I got you.
Buy some stuff. I'm telling you, it'll be name brands that you probably have never seen because they're not from here, of course.
Yeah.
Just try them. And every time I go, I find one or two new things to try.
And yes, I went to where did I go to? Oh, I went to a Chinese farmers market. My friend took me to it, and I was in there like a little kid because I was just like, all this different stuff. Like I've never in my life heard of Japanese spinach, sweet potato plant. I've never heard of none of that stuff. And when we cooked it, it was amazing. Like the sweet potato plant tastes just like a sweet potato plant. Tastes just like a sweet potato.
My friend just made them over the weekend, and she was like, if you want to substitute that for spinach or something else, it's a wonderful substitution. She was talking about how good it tastes. Yeah. Now, I am a huge fan of Chinese five spice.
Oh, baby, me too. Look, I be in trouble at work sometimes because I use it so much.
It's just good to
Yes.
Sorry.
People they eat with their eyes.
Mhm.
But when they taste it, it's a whole different level. And they be like, what you put in this? And
Yeah.
I be like, I can't tell you what I put in it, but it's good though, right? I mean,
Mhm.
I'm just that type of person. Before I became a chef, I love food. And
Yeah.
I try anything.
Mhm.
Like anything. I try it. I just ate some cow tongue
Okay,
Saturday.
I got one for you. How about mountain oysters?
Baby, that's my favorite. And people be like, you really eat that? And I'm like, look, where I'm from, we
They
are
do it,
country
man. We
and
cut.
we eat
There you
that.
go.
And they be like, what it tastes like? I tell them it tastes like deep fried hush puppies to me with tartar sauce. That's
Oh,
what it tastes like to me. Yes, we deep fry ours
uh-huh.
in a batter and deep fry it. And then we dip it in tartar sauce, baby. Them
Wow.
are the best bull nuts I've never had in my life.
I
Like
was
seriously.
gonna say what they were. I was wondering if somebody was gonna figure out we talking.
I love them. I'm telling you, I love them.
My
And people
dad
be like,
cooked
I
them.
can't believe you eat that stuff. Hey, you never know what it tastes like until you try it.
I got tricked into eating some the first time I had them. My dad is one of those people that in the middle of the night would get up and cook the most weird crap and be like, "Here,
Yeah.
come on, taste this." And every time he do it, my mom used to warn me. She's like, "Look, I told you, don't eat everything you're gonna eat." He cooked them that night. They was frying. They smelled so good. He had cut them. I didn't see them before he cut them up. I
Yeah.
didn't know what it was. He had cut them in little strips, so they literally looked like beef fingers to me.
Yeah.
He had some tiger sauce. It's sweet like
Oh, I love that
oh my
stuff.
god.
I
He was
love that stuff.
eating them, eating them. He was like, "Here, baby, taste this." I ate probably about a whole two of them, and my mama walked in the kitchen and she was like, "So, you eating that, huh?" I was like, "Yeah, it's good. You want some?" She was like, "H, no, I'm not eating." I'm like, "What's wrong? They good." And I had a mouthful. She says, "You do know that you're eating what is it, cow pig nuts?" I
Yes.
I spit all over. I was mad at my dad.
Yes, honey.
When he
My
cooked me,
friend
you know.
talked me into eating some cow tongue
Mhm.
Saturday, and it was in a taco. When
Okay.
I tell you some of the best, it's shredded up like you know how you get shredded pork and
Uh-huh.
on a sandwich. It's just like that. It looks just like pulled pork,
So that's the texture of it.
but it's cow tongue.
Okay. You may have
And
talked me
it's
inside
shredded in this taco. And I was just like, oh my God, this is the best taco I've never had. Like, I need another one.
Okay, wait a minute. Let me ask you the other questions before I forget now. We got the deal must cover. Deshauna says, where can she get the cannabis rub?
From me. And I'll be in Arkansas on the 28th with
Okay.
cannabis. I mean, on the 25th with cannabis rub.
Okay, because I'm not sure where she's from, but okay. Uh, what she said, oh, Risa also asked, what does it mean when you said, match your seasons to your sauce? How do you know it matches?
Okay, so that's when you get the practicing, and
Mhm.
you have a palate. So your palate is going to tell you both that your sauce and your seasoning is going to tell, because if it don't match, it's going to knock it off.
Mhm.
So it was good that I used this mustard sauce because I had that orange peels, that orange zest in here with the cannabis rub. So it toned down the mustard. It didn't make it so strong.
Mhm.
So once you taste your mustard, you just take a spoonful of mustard and you take a spoonful of your seasoning and you taste both of them.
Mhm.
Like you can taste the mustard first and then you can taste the seasoning. You can be like, oh, these do go together. So
Okay.
you can make that as a pair. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's how I do it. It might be different for other people, but I'll taste my seasoning first and then I'll taste whatever sauce I'm going to put on it. And then I'm like, okay, so both of these kick together. And if it don't, then I can always add something to my sauce that is flavorful enough for my seasoning.
Okay. Makes plenty sense. Deshauna said she'll be waiting on you with this cannabis rub.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, now I want some.
Look, she like, now I want some. And it's not strong. It's not strong. It's actually mellow. I started out using it on a lamb. I was
Okay.
like, let me see how this do on lamb. And I did some roasted potatoes with it. And after I got through eating, I was sitting in the house and I was like, why do my body feel like this? And I was like, oh, I forgot. So it's relaxing. I mean, you just had me so relaxed. It's very relaxing. It's not strong. You can't even taste it in the seasoning. But I kept saying, why do I feel like this? I was like, oh, dog, I forgot I used the cannabis rub. So yeah,
Ever.
it's really mellow, like really, really mellow. And it's not just no regular cannabis. Like it's from the dispensary.
Okay. Now she says,
So it's legit.
Oh, she said, do you have more than one kind?
What, the seasonings?
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I'm working on another seasoning before I come home. So it'll be I have 2 kinds when I come home to Arkansas.
Okay. That'd be cool.
And I have some sauces as well.
Mm-hmm.
I have some sauce. Actually, on the season that I have now, you can use it on any seafood. I made this one just particularly for seafood.
Mm-hmm.
So when I get ready to, what I'm practicing and working on now is one for chicken and beef and pork.
Okay.
You'll be able to use that on all the same ones, but this is just specifically for seafood. And my sauces, you can use it for anything. Long as if it's a thick sauce, then you need to use it on something that's, like a rib or something like that. But the thin sauces, you can use it on anything: chicken, salmon, shrimp, steak, whatever.
Okay. She said, is it safe for kids to eat the cannabis rub?
No.
Deshauna, no, Reese, don't give it to the kids.
Please don't. Because you're going to be trying to figure out why they acting like that.
Oh my God.
They going to be just up there, okay? Just so you know.
Please don't give it to the babies.
Don't give it to them, no. Only for adults. Only for adults.
Please put that on the packaging.
Yes, most definitely. It comes with the package. Yes, not for kids.
Only.
Yes, they'll be like, what is wrong with my child tonight? Girl, you gave him that cannabis rub. And you can put it on any vegetable. You can put it on I actually, when I make my salads at home, I actually toss my salads in that seasoning.
So you feel good pretty much most of the time, then.
All the time, yes. 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 And I'm actually going to introduce it to my mom and my dad as well.
Oh, Lord.
I'm going to introduce it to my mom and dad as well because, listen, it did something for me that I didn't think it would do. It actually helps me with my headaches.
Interesting.
Yes. So, and I know my mom, she has a lot of headaches, body aches, and stuff like that. So I'm going to introduce it to my parents as well.
Okay. Now let me say something.
I don't leave them out of nothing.
Okay. Now let me say something right there so folks don't get it all twisted up and mixed up. These are our opinions. This is medical information. She is not giving medical information. She's not giving doctor's orders because we're not doctors. We're not medical professionals. We're not physicians. You consume this at your own will.
Right.
It's not.
Don't say Chef Mo said, oh, it's gonna do this. No, it does it for me.
We're not gonna give any. It doesn't. We're not giving any disclaimers on what it does. It's not a miracle drug. It's a
seasoner.
So I just
put it on your food and eat.
There you go. Go on. Don't roll it.
Right. Just put it on your food, cook a good meal, sit down and relax.
There you go. So I just wanted to make that perfectly clear so nobody goes, oh, but she said on the show. No, she did not.
Right. Thank you. Thank you so much.
That's our disclaimer. This is something that goes on food and food only, and it's only for adult consumption, not for children. Be really clear about that.
Please don't give it to the kids.
Exactly.
Or your elderly grandma.
Oh, Lord, not Yeah, you got me sitting over You don't know, Grandma might. My
Oh,
grandma,
you right. You right. Grandma might be up on that. You right.
Grandma might need that, but I'm just.
Yep,
But we not
that's true.
recommended. Look, we not recommended that you get the grandma.
Just saying. Just saying. That's it.
Oh my God, she got my eyes watering.
But it's good because I do a lot of this for my people back home, like my friends and the people that support me and the people that push me when I want to give up. Because it's days that I want to say, I just don't want to do this no more.
Mm-hmm.
And recently I had been feeling that way. And now I'm just like, this is what I'm going to do. I'm dedicating this to my nephew. So this going to make me go harder in what I'm trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
I know that this is something my nephew loved for me to do because he loved to cook. So, and he loved to eat too. So,
Talk about getting kids in the kitchen because that's one of the things
I love it.
that I love for them.
Actually, I wish that I could, get me a building to where I could get kids in the kitchen and give them cooking classes and, stuff like that. I think it's really dope to see kids wanting to be a chef or, just wanting to get in the kitchen and experiment and cook. I think it's really, really cool. I have a little boy back home in Arkansas and I call him my little chef. When I worked in Arkansas at the cafe, he was there. He was at every cooking class. He was dedicated to becoming a chef. Like,
wow.
I want to get me a place where I can do that. It's so cool to see kids interested in things like this. You have a lot of kids that's scared because of the heat or, whatever. But it is really, really cool to just be one-on-one hands training with kids to be able to do these things. Some parents, they work all day, all night. You might have a teenager that's home with their sisters and brothers that, wants to cook a meal for his parents when they get home. And I think that's really cool to see a kid wanting to do that. Wanting to be in the kitchen and cook. It melts my heart because I be like, oh, I just want you to stay with me, but it's really cool. Like my niece, she's 5 and she loves to be in the kitchen with her aunties, Relsa teaches her how to bake and stuff like that. So I think it's really dope. I mean, me growing up as a kid, I was always in the kitchen with my mama Ollie, like always. I'll be standing right by the stove with her. She'll be stuffing stuff in my mouth because I'm wanting to taste it and all that type of stuff. So it was already in me before I even decided to do this. My uncle and my auntie owned a small little cafe in D-Light, Arkansas. You know what I'm saying? As kids, Antoine on the road, on the dirt roads, they owned the cafe, burgers and fries and stuff like that. It was packed every weekend. You know what I'm saying? And me growing up seeing those things, I was like, wow, this is just something that I know that I could do. Like I actually fell in love with it at a young age. Now I'm not a good baker. I get into my sister Theresa, but she cooks too. But this is, if I could just do this every day, all day, my heart is happy. If I could have a kid beside me in the kitchen every day, my heart would be super happy because I think it's so dope. You find grown people that don't even want to cook. Sure. So when you see a child that wants to be in the kitchen and cook, it just do something different to me. It makes me happy.
That's one of the things that I love doing with my grandkids, especially when they're getting older. And I have a little stool, they stand on it, or they stand in the chair and we cook and they help me make breakfast. And we do little small things and try to bake a little bit with them. We've gotten into this tea cake thing. I've been making tea cakes.
I wish somebody would make me some.
Well, I tell you, I trade you tea cakes.
Like, I want some so bad.
I trade you tea cakes for the sauce.
Oh, baby, yes, ma'am. We can definitely do that.
That's one of our things we've been doing is baking a lot because I started off baking.
Okay.
I cooked my first meal when I was 5 and I stood in a chair to do that because I went to, we were back and forth between our house, both grandparents' house. So I cooked with both sets of my grandparents plus my parents
Yes.
and a couple of aunts. So you learn all these different tricks and you learn all these different ways to cook different stuff. And it's a way for you to pass down your family history also.
Right.
Because there's things that one grandmother cooked that I'm like, we couldn't duplicate for a long time. And she used to make these caramel cakes. Oh my God. They were so good. My dad can now make them as good as my grandma did. But the one thing that we've been challenged with trying to make that she used to make for us was these biscuits.
Uh-huh.
I kept playing with them until I made them biscuits.
Okay now.
This year.
Okay now.
She did, and I finally have made those biscuits. But having the kids in the kitchen with you and just teaching them how to use different stuff, how to cut, how to fry, how to cook.
Yes, my grandmother, may she rest in peace. She was a top chef for 22 years.
Wow.
And I never really got to be in the kitchen with her, but you can best believe she passed it on to me somehow, some way. Somehow, some way, she passed it on to me because I cooked for some people, some older people one time, and with that woman was like, your grandmother used to cook for us, and this tastes just like her cook. And I'm like, I don't know how, but it passed on, that it rubbed out on me.
Yep.
And I was like, thank you, God. I was like, thank you, God. It's really a blessing. Like, some days I doubt myself, but then when I do it, I be like, I knew I could do that. Like, I knew I could make that sauce just how I pictured it or how I tasted it. I knew I could do that. So yeah, some days it do be a struggle, to keep yourself uplifted and all that. But I always find a way, or it's always somebody like my head chef, my sisters, my dad, my friends, my best friend, everybody, they always be bragging on me. And I be like, I don't like to toot my own horn, but I'm going to toot my own horn on this salmon because it was good.
There you go.
It was good. Like literally good.
But that's one of those things that we do have to get a little bit better at. I have a really good friend, and I thank God for. Sometimes this show has afforded me to meet people that I otherwise wouldn't probably meet because a lot of people are out of state, and the only time we've ever seen each other is when we're doing the show.
Yes.
But no, I'm meeting folks, man. I'm inspired, and you're making me want to go cook, but I refuse. I cooked enough yesterday, honestly, so it wouldn't make sense to cook tonight. But I think about all the years growing up and cooking with the grandparents and cooking with my parents. My mom actually went to cooking school, so a lot of things that she learned, she passed on to me.
Right.
I told somebody the other day, I said, I'm probably the biggest nerd ever because I was the only 5-year-old, 6-year-old that knew what cream of tartar was used for.
Right.
All the time. And I made my pie crust and all my stuff from scratch. So I've cooked for a long time, and I cook for people every once in a while. I cook for my family for years. I don't know yet how to cook for 2 people, and it's just me and my husband now because I was so used to cooking for 12.
For a big family. And you know what? I'm letting you know now. It's going to take time because I was so used to cooking for a group of people. Now that it's just me, it's like I be telling myself, okay, Mo, it's just you. So just cook a little bit. It's still taking me time to adjust to that.
Yep. And I do the same thing, but I enjoy cooking. It relaxes me. I think better if I'm in the kitchen. I love to bake. I like to cook. I just like to cook, period.
Yes.
I'm like you. I love to experiment with different things, and I cook by smell.
Right.
I can go someplace and eat something, and I can taste it, and I can tell you what ingredients are in it, and I can duplicate it.
See, that's one of the things.
And do the same thing.
That's one of the first things that they taught us in culinary school is to taste. Like smell with your nose and use your palate to see if you can taste every ingredient that's in that. We had to do that, Lord. I was so scared and nervous. I was like, Lord, I am not going to be, because I smoke cigarettes. So it kind of throws my palate off a little bit. And that I'm kind of thankful that it didn't mess my palate up all the way. If you smoke cigarettes, it throws your palate off. It makes everything a little salty. Yeah. So I didn't. I smoke, but when I get ready to cook and stuff, I don't smoke because I want to be able to taste every ingredient that's in my dish.
Listen, we're gonna work on that smoking, all right?
I know, I know, I know.
I
I've
work
been trying.
I
I've
work
been.
for a cancer coalition.
I
And
I
one I,
I need to do it. Like literally.
cessation. I'm actually
Like
a food specialist, so we're gonna work on that smoking thing
okay.
because I need you to stay around and cook smoke.
I know, me too. Me too. I need to be around. I need to be able to teach my babies how to be able to get in the kitchen and do all this stuff. You know, I don't have no kids, so my nieces and nephews are my world.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to rub off on them.
Okay, so we got about 5 minutes. I want you to give us, let's see, give us something that you. Well, let me ask you this question and just answer it as quickly as you can. If you were not cooking, what would you be doing?
Nursing.
Okay. Now,
I love to take care of people.
inspire the person. Somebody's watching this video and they want to go to culinary school, but they're afraid. And I want you to inspire them in less than 2 minutes.
Hmm. Okay. Um. Actually, if culinary is your dream, don't let nobody steal it from you. Don't even let your fears steal it from you because I almost was that person that almost let my fears steal my dream away from me. I mean, I was in culinary school, but the devil was riding me so hard in culinary school that I was just like, you know what? I'm done.
Mm-hmm.
But I had people that believed in me. I had a support system that believed in me. And that pushed me to be like, you know what? I done made it this far. God, you done brought me this far. I'm not giving up. So no matter what the circumstances is, God gonna guide that path for you. I asked him every day to guide my footsteps, and that's exactly what he did. So, don't ever doubt yourself. Don't ever give up on yourself. Hey, McDonald's probably had a fear that they weren't gonna be open this long or these many years, but hey, they still open. So don't never give up on yourself or your dreams. And that goes for myself too, because sometimes I be like, I'm never gonna get this restaurant, or I'm never gonna get this when I know it's right them doors is getting ready to open for me. So you can't never give up on your dream. I don't care what the circumstances, sick, your parents, or you ain't got no support system or whatever. You can call me. I promise you, I'll support you all the way because I had a support system out this world. I had people that didn't even know me that supported me and pushed me. And I still have one person that's in my life that still pushes me every day when I want to give up. Chef Guy Anderson. He was my culinary instructor. That man pushes me every day because he sees something in me that I didn't see in myself. So I want to thank him for that. And my sister, Dr. Theresa Flowers, she never gave up on me. I know she wanted to because I wasn't always this person that I am now. You know, I was a bad person. I used to be. But my sister never gave up on me and she fought for me. And this is why I'm fighting for myself as of today. So if anybody ever want to go to culinary school and you want to know the ins and outs or anything, you can hit me up on Facebook, Instagram, or whatever, and I will coach you through it. I will talk you through it. If you feel like you want to give up, call me. I'm going to coach you through that and talk you through that as well.
All right. Look, amen.
Amen.
Amen. Let me just thank you again. I so appreciate you coming on tonight, and I'm glad that you were able to cook. Now, for somebody that was so nervous,
I know.
You did an awesome job.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I've been bragging about this ever since you said something to me about it. At first, I didn't want to say nothing about it because I was like, you know, every time you talk about something before it's ready to be done, it never happens. So I waited and I waited. When I got that confirmation email, I went to tell people then. I was like, y'all, I'm going to be on a cooking show, such and such, such and such. Yes, I was nervous, but you made me feel so comfortable. And I thank you for that.
I am so glad. I have enjoyed you. When you come to Arkansas, let me know because I had them tea cakes ready.
Yes, ma'am. And I will have your sauce ready for you as well.
All right. Thank you all for sticking with the show tonight. I'm so glad you all were able to come on and see Chef Mo. She did an awesome job, and let's give her a hand. And you can't hear us clapping, but we're clapping.
Thanks, guys. Thanks.
Appreciate you all sticking. We have a couple of folks that stayed through the whole show, so thank you all for the comments. Thank you for sticking with us through the show. We appreciate you. Again, this is the Ladies Lounge for Wonderlow. This is I can't even tell you how many episodes it's been, but I have enjoyed cooking during the pandemic with Chef Mo. Yvonne Leeper, thank you so much. God bless you. God bless
Thank you.
mind. Keep cooking, keep smiling, keep inspiring folks. And y'all keep tuning in every week at 7 o'clock on Tuesday evenings for the Lady Sound of Wonderlow. That is the end of our show, and we will see you next week. Now, make sure next week you tune in.
I will.
Is our sister to sister check-in.
Okay.
And Dr. Theresa Flowers will be one of my guests. So
okay, my sister.
Make sure that you tune in because we're going to be just talking. This is ladies' night. We're going to talk. We're going to grab you a glass of wine if you drink wine. Get you some water if you drink water. But just join us next week at 7 o'clock here in the Ladies Lounge on Facebook and YouTube. You can go back and watch the replays of the show on either one of those pages. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, like and share this video and all the others that are on the page. So, again, thank you, Chef. I appreciate
you.
Can't wait to meet you in person.
I know, right? I'm so ready to meet you as well. You are awesome, and you have a awesome soul.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. All right, y'all.
Good night.
I'm going to eat. Good night.
Good night.
Bye.